Hello everyone and welcome to the Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. One of the very troubling aspects of the modernist church and its leaders, aside from their own pending damnation, is the innocent people and the impact this all has on them. Quite a few have bought into the Marxist hype and modernist garbage, while others have resisted. However, if we view the church as the bark of St. Peter, we must be aware that you can fall off either the port or the starboard side. Many have indeed fallen off the ship on its left side. But what often gets overlooked by the usual Catholic is that a not insignificant number have also fallen off the right side as well. As a response to the crisis, they have sought refuge in the breakaway Catholic groups that have all the trappings of tradition, but underneath it all are just as spiritually dangerous as the modernist crowd, albeit for different reasons. One such group is the Society of St. Pius X, which has inculcated an attitude in its followers that their clergy are absolutely beyond question or reproach. This has created an atmosphere within the SSPX leadership that they can get away with anything, and they have. For almost a year now, church militant has been exposing sexual abuse by multiple clergy in the society, but more importantly, the lies, deception, and cover-up by its leaders. For years, Bishop Fillet has demonstrated wanton disregard for dozens of known victims and their families and continued to create a space for even more harm to be done to innocent souls. Since our exhaustive investigations began airing, SSPX fanatics have been attacking us, saying our reports are wrong, incorrect, biased, and so forth. Even a popular website called our reporting into question, without revealing to its readers that they benefit financially from an outfit with close ties to the SSPX, who lists the religious community on its website. Journalistically speaking, that's highly unethical. Likewise, some letters and articles went out from highly respected clergy, also suggesting that Church Militant was biased in its reporting. Those letters appeared on the same website, but it was clear from even one cursory reading that the bishop who wrote the letters had not been told of the abuse and cover-up by the leaders of SSPX in any real detail. Here's the bottom line. If Church Militant's reports are wrong, then the close to dozen victims who have appeared on camera over the last year and recounted their stories, they must be simply lying. Adults abused as children, both male and female, their explicit, detailed accounts of what happened, both the abuse and then the re-victimization by leaders, smearing them and then promoting their abusers. Every time CM airs one of these investigations, more victims come forward, as you will see in this latest report, and perhaps most importantly, their treatment at the hands of leaders caused them to lose their faith. That's quite a black mark on a society that presents itself as the authentic church and drapes itself in self-anointing titles such as Eternal Rome. On last night's Church Militant's Evening News, we aired a preview of our Spotlight report and discussed it with senior producer Christine Niles. The Society of St. Pius X has been scrambling to do damage control ever since Church Militant exposed their network of sex abuse and cover-up last year. But with all their talk of reform, it appears nothing has really changed. Here's Church Militant's Christine Niles with the disturbing details.
Mental suffering, I think, is worse than physical suffering.
For the first time, victims of a notorious SSPX priest are speaking out.
I looked at the society as the answer.
Not only are they exposing abuse by Father Benedict Vanderputten, a priest they both met in the 1990s in Los Gatos, California, just east of San Jose, where he was running a secluded retreat center, they're also revealing his protector was none other than current U.S. District Superior, Father John Fullerton.
My role is to take care of the priests, to make sure that we're using the priest properly.
Father Fullerton had ordered to silence one of Vanderputten's assault victims, Luann Manwaring, forbidding her from warning others about his predatory behavior.
He stopped what I was saying and he said, "Do you have any proof?" And I said, "No, I don't have any proof." He goes, "You have no physical proof that he did anything to those girls?" And I said, "No." He goes, "Then you can't say anything to anyone because that would be detraction."
As a result, Vanderputten went on to assault and even rape other girls. Among them, Julie Suela's 18-year-old daughter.
What sticks in my mind is he said, "You want to be a nun, and I'm an alter Christus, so it's okay for us to have sex."
The victims are seeking justice, but with an alleged predator protector, now the most powerful man in the U.S. district, they believe justice in this world is unlikely.
All right, Christine. First of all, great report.
Thank you.
I've obviously seen, senior executive producer, I've watched the full Spotlight investigation, which we encourage everybody to watch. This is just the same old story, sex abuse, cover it up. It's going to affect your donations. It's going to damage your image. It's going to wreck your leadership. So lie, deceive, cover up, smear the victims. You know, you just look and you say, is this ever going to come to an end?
No, that is the case. And it makes you wonder, how many times do we have to keep saying the same story for these SSPX loyalists to finally be convinced? This keeps happening over and over again. It's the fault of the hierarchy. So in this case, this story is important because it's never been told before. It's about Father Benedict Vanderputten. And this is a notorious sexual predator. He has multiple victims. And all you have on the internet before our report today was just little snatches of information here and there, you know, whispers about, yeah, there was a priest way back when and he got kicked out over sex abuse, but we didn't really know much of what he did. And then his name popped up in the Pennsylvania grand jury report. And and I spent many months talking with various people, speaking with victims, kind of piecing the whole thing together. So this is the first comprehensive report of the story, not only of Vanderputten, but the cover-up of his crimes, which nobody knew before.
Right.
And also, this is important because it involves the current U.S. District Superior. So if you recall, last year, Father Jürgen Wegner, while under criminal investigation for sex abuse cover-up, conveniently transferred to Austria. And then Father Fullerton comes in, and everyone's thinking in the SSPX, oh, great, he's going to come in, he's going to clean everything up. This is the reform and transparency they've been promising us for months. Well, I'm sorry, it is not at all. This man is accused of covering up, silencing victims, silencing whistleblowers, and you will see all of that in this spotlight.
One thing I would like to touch with you, and we get about a minute and a half left, is just take the viewers kind of behind the scenes a little bit, if you can, with your communications with the SSPX, because you hear all these things. Oh, you're not checking everything. You're not being fair. You're not being talked with. You've been promised time and time again. They've put out all these statements. Oh, we're going to reform. Oh, we're going to form this board. Oh, blah 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 blah. Nothing ever happens. And then when you send hey, I need a response. Here's the information. Oh, we're going to get it to you.
Exactly.
And then nobody ever gets back to you.
Right. So more than 2 weeks ago, I emailed Father Peter Scott and Father John Fullerton directly, asking them questions about this case and to respond to the allegations. I copied James Vogel, who's the spokesman, the communications director for the U.S. arm of the SSPX. I got a response from James Vogel promising that they would respond, but he wanted 2 weeks. That's what he asked for, 2 weeks. So
we held.
We held. And in fact, I waited longer than 2 weeks.
Right.
In fact, I wrote him yesterday saying, James, you said you needed 2 weeks. It's been more than 2 weeks. I haven't heard anything from you, and I need your response. Nothing. Silence.
Yeah, see, and Vogel and others, of course, have been sort of leading the charge, saying these aren't true, and Church Militant is conflating this and conflating that. And we're going to put out a whole series of stories, and press releases showing where they're all wrong, which of course never came out.
Materialized.
Never materialized.
Right.
Yeah, it is really a shame that so many people who are, in some ways very good, almost innocent Catholics to all of this, they're kind of refugees from the carnage of the modernist church, and they flee here. And they're taken advantage of. They're lied to, they're deceived, they take their money, their donations, and the whole bit. How is this any different than anything else?
Let's hope that this helps open their eyes.
Yeah, great special report. We encourage everybody to go watch it. Absolutely. While the SSPX continues to give the appearance of growth and flourishing, Church Militant has learned leadership is in chaos, with younger clergy angry at the abuse and cover-up and insisting the hierarchy clean up its act. With Father Fullerton at the helm, however, It appears highly doubtful.